Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to this week's Quantum Plasma stream. My name is Marissa Indigo of Divine DNA Blueprint Mystery School, and we are going to dive into the energies and different themes and also some of the galactic or cosmic events happening for this week. We're going to be covering from Tuesday, February 11th to Tuesday, February 18th. With a shift in my work schedule, the weekly broadcasts are now going to be Tuesday through Tuesday. So thank you so much for joining me. We have some pretty expansive energetics going on here, deluges of photonic light and electricity and magnetism, and thus electromagnetism, which you could be perceiving affecting a lot when it comes to navigating your reality, what's real, what's up from down. Over this last weekend, we had an alignment with Galactic Center. And for me, whenever that happens, it's a huge expanse and it kind of can feel like free falling through a wormhole, and you don't really know up from down. You're just trying to get yourself upright and stabilized to just navigate. And with these influxes of so much photonic light, I've been observing again what I call kind of like the diamond drills, where there are these laser beams of diamond light permeating our entire being. And they are dredging up, they are unearthing more of our stuff out of the subconscious. So it's like you get forced to do the shadow work, forced to face your triggers. This week we have so much going on with a lot of the outer planets. And the outer planets are called this because they are the furthest away from Earth in our galaxy. So they're literally way out there. They're out on the perimeter at the edge of our galaxy. And this week there's so much happening with Uranus, which is one of the planets of the Aquarian energy. It's futuristic. It's that amazing sci-fi, galactic, futuristic technology. Think higher Atlantis and crystalline technology, God consciousness. It's lightning bolts of insight where you could have these amazing ideas come out of nowhere, or an awesome flash of clarity and revelation, a huge understanding of something perhaps that you've been working on your whole life. So there could be really powerful spontaneous remissions or spontaneous healing moments with all of these energies. And at the same time, we also have Neptune, which is another God consciousness, unity consciousness, but it's very mystical, and it almost can feel like you're intoxicated or you're trying to be on the telephone underwater. So it's like the messages are coming through the fog or coming through dense layers of water, and it takes a while for us to be able to actually hear and translate these messages from source or from our universe. So with all of this, it can be very difficult on a consciousness level to tell what's real and what's not real, as a lot of our triggers are coming and bringing things up to the surface from our past. When you have your vagus nerve triggered by all of this light and your nervous system triggered by all of this light, the whole point of it is to assist us to literally lighten our load, to clear density from the body, right? And raise our body's frequency, because the body is the final frontier. It is the vehicle or the vessel for landing on New Earth. And it's where the most density is stored. It's the most dense aspect of our beingness, is having this physical body. So part of the carbon to crystalline process is really kicking off in a whole new way. The majority of my work through the years, we've talked about the subconscious. So even if you're semi-consciously aware of working through your subconscious, it's still pretty astounding to see how much more there is that is coming up. And this is where what we receive to be the most important pieces to navigate all of this is nervous system regulation, because these frequencies, we are electromagnetic in our functioning, right? Our cognitive functioning, our cardiac functioning, the two dual aspects of our nervous systems at the physical level. And so it's so important to do the somatic practices, breath work, just touching your shoulder, giving yourself a hug, tapping on your chest. The EFT can be brilliant right now. It is so important that we regulate the nervous system. So nervous system regulation and emotional regulation are the keys to navigating this with our sanity intact and being able to be clear and present and in our peace, because there can be such massive shifts and changes, or shocking things can happen. And honestly, all of our nervous systems are fried, whether it's from your whole life prior to the awakening of your consciousness, and on top of that, the 2020 to 2024, and just in general, the cosmic frequencies that are blasting us. So our nervous systems are constantly being forced to surge into higher and higher frequencies. And it's really important that we understand how this affects us at a psychological level, also at an emotional level. And it's been tough. I will say that I am not a fan so far on many levels of this new North Node that is in Pisces right now. It's very challenging because you have to surrender so much. You have to let go and allow so much to dissolve. And it's a lot of shadow work. It's a lot of ego death. And I asked my universe, how can we successfully navigate this and not be just completely blown off of our center by triggers? Because I started to become aware that we are going to go through an acceleration of being triggered almost all day or several times a day right now because of this accelerated process. And it's like, okay, how can we maintain our sanity? How can we hold on to our peace and our ability to handle all of this intensity with responsibility, right? With integrity, without adversely affecting someone else or without blowing up? How can we handle this? Because I was starting to get pretty intimidated just seeing how massive this process is, and my own emotional eruptions of where there was suppressed rage still inside of my body, of my DNA. And my universe said to me, if you get out ahead of it every day and tend to the aspects that you're observing are related to the patterns and to the behaviors. So when we go unconscious, what patterns are you observing the most? What aspects are coming up? And you can have labels for it if that helps you to kind of tag the energy, right? Because it's all just coming up to be released. It's like layers peeling back. And so you don't want to get caught up in the story or caught up too long in dwelling and getting stuck in that emotion and feeling your frequency dip down. But you want to honor and validate the process, and you want to honor and love, have compassion and validation for the aspects of you that have suffered in the past that are still holding on, to nurture them through letting go. So the key is to essentially every morning before you start your day, and perhaps several times a day, align yourself, but now more specifically with these aspects. Because I was realizing, I was having a conversation with a dear soul sister. We support each other navigating through all of this because we're being thrust into even deeper layers, and it is so disorienting. It's like, it doesn't matter how much experience you have. It doesn't matter how much you know on an intellectual level. When you're thrown into the depths of this and you're really spiraling and trying to get your footing, it can take a while, and it will bring up every emotion, every story, any of the victim, any of the separation. But that's the science of this, right? And we were having this discussion and looking at, then this may support you to see what I'm trying to convey, is when you have a flashlight and you have that beam of light and you are facing it directly upon a subject or a focus that you're working on. Okay, that's wonderful. You're shining the light on that one piece, but then all of the surrounding pieces are in the dark. So this is a good way to kind of show what we are migrating away from a linear way of perceiving, right? One thing, one at a time, one lens, to a holographic or a multidimensional perspective. So we have to learn now how to essentially have a floodlight, boom, that's on, and it's illuminating everything that is here, instead of just maybe the one or two pieces that we can name So it's quite a feat of consciousness right now. And we're being thrown into multidimensional consciousness. And that's why I say it can be very challenging to tell what is real, what is ready to be released or perhaps transformed. And this can happen across all levels. So there's a great deal of adaptability and flexibility here, and calling on our ancestors and our shamanic guides to assist us through these processes of the acceleration of our conscious evolution. So the big tips are the emotional regulation and the nervous system regulation. If your body and your nervous system feels safe and comfortable, then you will have a systemic sense of peace. Then you will not be in the fight or flight, right? So when a trigger comes or when something happens that's shocking, your nervous system is at a state of chill and can handle it, and you won't wig out. Because what's happening right now is you could be shocked at certain events that are happening where the light is triggering some of the deepest stuff that has been suppressed. And this is part of the process. There's only so much that we can consciously dredge up ourselves. So my goal with this week and the information is to assist you so you don't pop off and go volcanic like I have, and learn how to get out ahead of it. I love Abraham. Esther Hicks will talk about pre-filling, or she says pre-paving it, or fill your grid. So you're in your center. You are aligned with your universal consciousness deep within yourself as a beautiful vortex of divine love and empowerment, the I am presence. So your most sacred and highest possible aspects of consciousness as a higher self, where you are the center of your universe. So you feel supported and stable and loved and worthy and capable. And then we go out into the world to do whatever we have to do. So it's been quite a massive week. And until yesterday, I have been in an almost week-long process of literally feeling like my consciousness is free falling. Don't know up from down. I've just been focusing on, okay, just, work and just get through this, going through all these emotional layers once again. And yesterday finally got my stable footing. And I'm like, now the visual is I'm still just careening through a wormhole at the speed of light right now. One of the words the last 2 weeks was get ready for this G-force, because you have no idea what it's going to do to you. And it is very challenging because when we're hit with so much light and such high frequencies, we're still adapting, right? All of us. And so what it does is it throws you into unconsciousness. So we have to do our best to come into our mastery every single day at a whole new level. And how it assists me to take it really seriously is do it as if your life depends on it, because your light depends on it. And as master beings and master builders getting ready and in the process of building a whole new reality that is highest aligned, it requires every piece of consciousness. So gift yourself that regulation, that inner peace, that kind of Jedi mastery every day before anything else. And that way you won't respond, you won't react, you won't take action from unconscious places. That is so important right now. So thank you so much for tuning in. We're having some changes with the schedule. So the plasma stream is going to be Tuesday to Tuesday now because of my work schedule. We're still going to have a live every Wednesday with Annette Shaner for Ascension in the Raw. This week, we're going to go really deeply into the holograms, programming, deprogramming, the different illusions and delusions, and how to tell where you are, how to navigate. So everything I talked about in this week's broadcast, we're going to go really deeply together and give support to navigate this so that you have a strong footing created for yourself in your mastery. That will be Wednesday, 3:30 Pacific time. And for now, Thursday Mystery School for Self Mastery is going to have to be pre-recorded. So keep your eye out. That broadcast will come out on Thursday. And this Saturday, we have one of 2 live workshops. So twice a month for my members in my members portal on the Mystery School site, we have 2 3-hour workshops. And this is a group session where it is like a one-on-one in a group setting where we can work together and customize and work with all of this information with where you are in your journey and your process. So I would love to see you there. That will be this Saturday, the 15th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The membership includes the entire course catalog and these 2 live broadcasts, so it's a really great deal. I would love to see you there. Thank you so much, and wishing you an amazing week. And just remember not to be afraid. You can handle this. Your universe and your soul is not going to give you more than you can handle. It's just a matter of staying in our heart space, keeping our hearts open, staying soft through this process, and really trusting that everything is happening for us. This is all for us, for our dreams, for our next steps. And while it is new, and while it can feel very jarring and bring up all the times in the past where things didn't go well, that's part of the illusion to bust through. So you got this. You wouldn't be given anything you couldn't handle. We're just learning new tools and also applying the tools that we have had in even more deep and kind of disciplined, like living in the mystery school. So we are living, our life is the mystery school for self-mastery every day, every moment. It's different than the times we've done it before because we don't literally live in a remote temple with the monks. But it's still the same journey, really, in a way. So remember, you have all the tools inside. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Namaste.